guys, this is PackRat556 here, and the purpose for me making this video this evening is just to share with you guys some of the most basic principles of using a map and compass combination. Most of you who are watching this video probably already own at least one compass and have it packed away in your survival backpack or in some type of a wilderness kit. Many of you may have never been in a situation where you really needed to depend on that compass to help you find your bearings and to navigate in the wild. Most of the time, when I'm out hiking or in the wilderness, I'm in familiar territory and rarely have to use a compass myself. But once in a while, when I'm in maybe an unfamiliar area, it can be very helpful to have a compass to help you navigate. So the purpose for this video again is just to share with those of you who have never really taken the time to learn or who know very little about using compasses. This will give you a basic idea of how you can make that compass practical. I'm sure there's a lot of you who may be watching this video right now who know a lot more about using a compass than myself. And so again, just to restate, this is the most basic principles, and there's a lot more to a compass than what I'm going to show here. But again, just for those who have no experience, this will get you started. So hope you guys will enjoy this and stick with me. Okay guys, the first thing that I want to share with you is basically how to use the compass in the case that we do not have a map. Let's say we lost our map, we never had a map for whatever reason, we don't have a map, and so we're trying to roughly navigate with our compass. First of all, you're going to have a little intuition on this. You're going to have a general idea of the direction you want to travel based on your vision. So let's say I know I want to go generally in a certain direction because I can see on the horizon a particular landmark, maybe a tree, it could be a radio tower, it could be a lot of different things that would cue me in on which direction roughly that I want to go. So you can see right now this arrow represents my direction of travel. This N is the compass north, and this red arrow is actually pointing true or magnetic north technically. What I would do is first of all, I would dial in the compass so that north is actually lining up on the compass and on the needle. And at that point, then I could determine that where I actually want to go. Let's say I'm going to make up this coordinate. I want to go 90 degrees east. Okay, so off in this direction is where I actually want to travel. At that point, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, 90 degrees is where I want to go. So I mark 90 degrees on my direction of travel arrow. Once I line my compass back up north, now that arrow will point in the direction that I want to walk. And so now my compass is geared, my arrow direction of travel is geared towards the actual direction, which is 90 degrees east that I want to travel. As long as I keep this arrow lined up with the magnetic north on the compass, then I will be able to move in the proper direction. One of the most simple ways to travel using a compass and to actually navigate is if you already have your bearings, or that is the direction that you need to travel. It's very easy to figure out which way that direction is with your compass. Let's say I know that to get from point A to point B, I need to travel 45 degrees northeast. Well, at that point, all I would need to do is dial 45 degrees in northeast on my compass dial, so that it lines up with my direction of travel arrow. And then all I have to do is align the magnetic needle to north, and now this arrow is going to point me exactly where I need to go, and you can see that's going from point A to point B. So this is really the easiest, most simple way to use a compass, that is if you know the bearings. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share with you is how to use the compass and the map together as a combination to help you determine your actual course. First of all, what I do is, I'm going to travel from point A to point B. Let's say this is my home and this is my camp. And let's say this was, for whatever reason, unfamiliar territory to me and I need to use this compass. What I'll do is take it and place it on my map and show my course that I'll actually travel, which is a straight line between A and B, assuming that there's no obstacles that I would need to negotiate to get there. So if I'm making a straight line from A to B, what I'll do is line up the edge of my compass to show that. And now what I need to do is orient my compass to my map, which basically means that I need to dial in the north on my compass to match the north on my map. So you can see that roughly these are exactly the same. Now at that point, they're oriented together. All I would need to do is hold the compass in the palm of my hand, and actually adjust so that the needle on my compass, the magnetic part, is actually oriented with the north on the compass itself. And this arrow now is pointing in the exact direction that I need to travel in order to go from point A to point B. I can also look at my compass to see that the actual bearing that I will walk in order to travel from point A to point B is going to be 50 degrees northeast, roughly. So 50 degrees northeast would take me to my camp in this situation. All right, so very easy. Another thing, guys, is sometimes you might decide that you want to backtrack from where you've already been. And if I choose to do that, as long as my compass is still oriented to my map, all I would do is turn this arrow for direction of travel back towards myself. When I turn it back towards myself, then at that point, all I have to do is realign my needle with my north direction. Once that's realigned, now as long as I maintain this, my arrow will point in the proper direction to backtrack my previous steps. Sometimes this is a simple way in order to go back to where you came from. In this case, you can see my direction of travel goes from B back to A. Okay, guys, well, just a few closing thoughts on using the map and compass combination. If you do not currently own a compass, when you go out to buy your first one, my suggestion is to buy something really simple. You might be tempted to buy one of those more fancy compasses that have a lot of different features on them. And if you're just starting out, you really don't need all that. I would say to get something very simple, just a compass that you can use and practice with. And the main thing is that you take it and practice with it a little bit. My suggestion is to get a map of your area that you're familiar with, and then start with that and just practice a little bit, figuring your bearings. And once you get better at it, if you're interested, do a little research, and then maybe you can upgrade to something that's a little bit more sophisticated later on. There's a lot of different things that you can figure when you're using a compass, things like your declination based on your area. And what that is just subtly adjusting your bearings based on your area in the world. But my suggestion again is to start simple, practice, and then decide how much of that you really want to use. This video has just been dedicated to general direction. I know a lot of you guys out there are experts, and if you are, please feel free to make comments and chime in on this and enlighten all of us really with your knowledge. And then also too, when you put together your compass kit, make sure you have a compass and then also some note paper, preferably the waterproof kind that you can jot down your bearings with that you figure with your compass. And make sure, of course, that you have a good pencil as well. That way you know you'll have what you need. And also in marking your map too, you'll have what you need. So just some basic ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. Wish you guys all the best. Hope you're doing well. Take care.